In this video, I'm going to teach you the 6 universal principles of persuasion from the book Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion. Principle 1. Reciprocation. This is the first rule and the first weapon of influence. This rule states that we should try to give back what we have received from another person. One of the reasons why reciprocity can be used so effectively as a tool for obtaining the compliance of others is its power. This rule has extraordinary force, often producing a positive response to a request which would usually have resulted in a negative response in different circumstances. Let me give you some examples so you can better understand and apply this to your life. If someone buys you a meal, you feel obligated to buy him a meal next. This one is for you, ladies. If a guy takes you out on a date and he pays all, you feel obligated to go out with that man again, even if you weren't that into him. This rule forces an invited debt. We are expected to pay someone back for something even if we never asked for it. Principle 2. Commitment and consistency. This is the second weapon to influence people. This rule states that our desire is to be in line with whatever we have already done. Once we have made a choice, we will face personal and interpersonal pressure to behave consistently with that commitment. These pressures will cause us to respond in ways that justify our previous decision. Maybe you didn't understand it in the first place, but let me give you some examples. Staying married, even if divorce may be the best option, because you have made a public commitment. This is another good example. Tell everyone that you will open your first business in 3 months. This public announcement, or what I call forced liability, will motivate you to be more consistent in your actions, so that you'll achieve your goal. Take a commitment and start action now. Principle 3. Social proof. Social proof is what many of us would refer to as the pressure of colleagues and friends, but I think it's closer to the behaviour of the herd. The third weapon applies in particular to the way we decide what constitutes correct behaviour. We consider a behaviour to be correct in a given situation, insofar as we see our friends and family performing it. If everyone else is doing it, you're doing it too. For example, if you're at a bar with your friends and all of them order beer, you'll do the same. If your friend buys a certain collection of clothes, you'll do the same. Social proof is good in most cases, but you should control it from time to time. If you like the sound of this book, you can get it for free with a trial of Audible using a link in the description. Principle 4. Liking. The fourth weapon means that we prefer to say yes to the requests of people we know and like. There are various factors that cause one person to like another person: physical attractiveness, similarities, compliments, and many more. Some studies have shown that attractive people have an easier time persuading others. For example, teachers think attractive kids are more intelligent than unattractive ones. Similarity means we like people who act and think like us. We also love getting compliments. Principle 5. Authority. This one is very simple. People tend to follow authority figures. We obey authorities mindlessly in a lot of cases. We were taught from a very young age that obedience to authority is right and disobedience is wrong. Here is an example. If someone is introduced to us as a professor, has more authority than someone who's being introduced to us as a graduate student. How to say no? Ask yourself if the authority is truly an expert and try to take what mostly applies to you. Principle 6. Scarcity. This is the last weapon on how to influence people. This rule states that opportunities seem more valuable to us when their availability is limited. This rule refers to the thought of losing someone, and this motivates us more than ideas of gaining something similar in value. We believe that things that are difficult to own and keep are usually better than things that are easy to get hold of. As opportunities become less and less available, we start losing our freedom. Let me give you some examples and you'll understand better. The passion of an indifferent lover surges when a rival comes in. Children run for toys behind obstructions rather than the ones lying in front of them. The scarcity pushes us into buying things just for the fear of missing out. Be sure you are going after something because it's useful, not just because it's scarce. Remember, if you like the sound of this book, you can get it with a free trial of Audible using the link in the description.